Hey guys, well there's no question that can't catch a break these guys. Well hey guys, it's no question how much I love to travel the world and take pictures. So I thought I would take a little time here to share with you how I'm actually able to do this. Now I was hoping to shoot this last night when I was hiking up to take some pictures of sunset here over my neighborhood, but I didn't get to get out last night like I wanted to, so I thought I'd do this now, and then maybe tonight I might get out, I might reshoot this, I don't know. But anyhow, let me tell you a little bit about how I'm able to travel the world. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, this is an adult discussion. So if you're here looking for a way to fire your boss and go live a life of luxury traveling the world, this is probably not for you. Personally, you see, I'm in my home. I have a beautiful home here with my wife in Phoenix. We absolutely love it, and I'm not willing to give up my home to travel the world, but I still want to travel the world. So again, this is an adult discussion, guys. First of all, I'm going to tell you the first mistake, the biggest mistake I made in my younger years. You see, my parents introduced us to travel by taking us to Florida every year, but the problem is that was a 1 week, and that was it. And as I started to get a little bit older and was able to do travel with friends, and that was great because you could pool resources. But then when I got on my own, that's when I made my big mistake, and that is I fell for the credit card scam, and I do call it a scam. Really what was happening is, you'd see those awesome models and beautiful locations taking this incredible trip on this card because you earned it, you deserved it, and in my early 20s I fell for it. And what I discovered is that I didn't really take luxury vacations, but the next year when I wanted to take another one, I was still paying off last year's. So the whole idea behind the scam is to hold you in continuous debt, and that gives the credit card companies continuous income. So if you want to be a traveler, the worst thing you can have is debt, because you are literally bleeding money to other people. So I got my act together, and that's what I want you guys to do as well. Get your financial act together and pay off that debt and stay out of debt. Now, once you get out of debt, I know that doesn't sound like fun. Again, this is an adult discussion here. Once you get out of debt, then I would consider creating a savings account for yourselves just for travel. The whole idea is that you want to have the money there before you actually use it, so you don't have to pay money on that credit card. So what you do is put a percentage every time you get a paycheck deposited, automatically have a percentage put into that fund. And you have to learn to live well below your means. That's the only way you're going to be able to do this, because again, you don't want to be in debt, because that takes all the fun out of traveling. Now, another thing you can try and do, and this is what I do, is that you try to monetize your normal life. Now, I've been taking travel photography now for 18 years. I got my first digital camera way back in 2002, and I took it with me on a trip and just fell in love with the whole idea. And I'll be honest with you, some of the images I took in Yellowstone still sell today. So that's pretty awesome that after oh my gosh, 16 years now, I'm still getting income from those images. So what I've done is I sell my images on stock photography sites. I've got my own website, snapbysnap.com, that I also sell my images on. So that is one way how I build that account up, because all the money that I receive from that revenue stream goes into the travel fund. Now I also discovered another thing that I was able to do. And 1 week a month, I actually go to a client downtown Phoenix. And so what I do is I drive for a rideshare company for those 5 days. On the app, I can tell it to just do drop-off and pickups along the way and back. So I'm really not adding more than about 150, 200 miles to my car each year, if that. Actually, yeah, it's actually more like 100. And so it's not really taking a whole lot of extra time, but I make anywhere from $50 to $140 each week doing it. All that goes into the travel fund as well. And then, of course, this YouTube channel, this is a revenue stream in development, so I appreciate if you hit that subscribe button. That helps me put it into a monetized state so that I can also have that revenue stream going into the travel fund. Now, that's something that everybody can do, but again, the most important thing is to live below your means and get rid of all that debt. And then you can enjoy more travel. Now, let me tell you how I actually started to be able to do this, because I couldn't afford it. And that's through business travel. Now, what happened is my employer would need to send me to another office. So what I would do is I prepare as much as I can before I actually left. You want to rock any assignment you get, because here's the idea. If you do an outstanding job, you're going to become your boss's number one choice when they need to send somebody away. And that could literally mean the difference between being sent to somewhere in the middle of nowhere, a totally non-interesting area whatsoever, and Paris. Catch my drift on that one? You want to be the number one choice. And if you have everything as prepared as much as possible before you leave, you can usually siphon off a night or two where you can go and sightsee. Think about it. The employer's paying your airline, they're paying your hotel, they're paying your ground transportation, they're paying for your meals. There's not a whole lot you have to pay for. You get to take advantage of it. The downside is you got to go to work. And a lot of people say I must live this incredible life with all this travel. No, because I have to work. All right, I have to actually show up and do an outstanding job for my clients every single day, so they keep me coming back. And that leads me up to the next way how I do travel is I own my own business. I'm a very successful Microsoft certified trainer. I went independent a little more than a decade ago. And I have got clients across the United States and in several countries. So I actually have designed my business around the ability to travel. Again, I absolutely rock when I'm there. I'm fully prepared. I go above and beyond, and my clients continuously want me to come back, because if they didn't, I wouldn't be able to take advantage of the travel opportunities. I'm also a chief in the United States Navy, and my unit that I'm in right now is a special unit in which they have a lot of money. Usually we only get about 2 weeks a year when we do our annual training. That's when we hear the term 1 week a month, 2 weeks a year. Well, this unit goes above and beyond that, and we get to travel to some incredible places around the world. Again, I make sure I rock when I'm there so that our project managers want me on their teams whenever they do a new mission. And it's excellent. But again, you have to work during the day. And sometimes I run things into the night with special sessions for the people I'm training, because that's what is needed. We do mission first, and then we have to have some fun. So that leads us up to the best way to travel: on your own. When you're on your own, you have to fund it. That's the problem. All right, that's why we talked about money right off the bat. You've got to fund your travel. But you're on your own schedule. You get to go where you want to go. You get the entire day. That is the most awesome way to travel. So let me talk about those credit cards again to kind of help you guys out here. Even though I've had a bad experience with them, I carry two. One I never use, one I always use. The one I never use is separated from me. It's in a different pocket when I'm traveling than the one I always use. I keep some financial resource and identity on one side, a financial resource and identity on the other. If one of the pockets get picked, then obviously I'm still going to be okay. So the one I never use stays in the hotel. The one I always use is branded by my airline that I use. I generally fly only on United or the Star Alliance partner, so I can rack up massive air miles. So when my wife goes with me, she gets to sit in first class, and I do it all with air miles. And then I just keep racking them up through all the travel that I do. So something to think about there, but also I pay off that credit card each month. As a matter of fact, when we go on these trips, they're paid off before we leave. That is the key. I can only begin to tell you how much more fun and relaxing it is to go on a trip knowing it is already paid off, knowing that you're not going to come home to debt. So again, adult discussion here. You got to keep those finances in order and live well below your means. Now let me tell you about another limiting factor that you have while you're employed by somebody else, your vacation time. It is very limited. It's took me, I think, one employer 6 years before I got 4 weeks a year off. So it usually started just 5 days. So let me tell you how to kind of expand those out. Now, whatever country you're in, there's usually a national holiday. It's a shortened work week. That's when a lot of people like to take their vacation time, because maybe it's a 4-day weekend, so you take 3 days off and you get 9 days off in return. That's a great investment, but usually what happens during those times is that the prices for everything is just skyrocket. Gas, hotel, airfare, meals, what have you, because everybody's trying to get out and about. That's when all these businesses can maximize their profits. And as a businessman, I understand that. But let me give you a hint here. What is a national holiday in your country may not be a national holiday in another country. Catch my drift? In other words, that's a great time for you to get out of your country. Now, granted, airfares might be a little bit higher, okay, but the prices elsewhere may be generally lower. Maybe it's their downtime of the year when everybody's working. So something to consider there. Guys, the world is an amazing place, and I want you to be able to get out and enjoy, but don't make the mistake that I made in my early 20s and rack up credit card debt. It killed many of the trips I wanted to take because I simply did not want to continue paying other people my money. I wanted to have it for myself. So be responsible, live below your means, and save for your vacations before you leave. So guys, thank you for listening. Hope this helps give you a little bit of guidance. And remember, never stop exploring.